September 2014. The world of video games came to a complete standstill. The Titan. Microsoft had just bought Minecraft, and not for a small amount of money. They spent $2.5 billion. Crazy. This made Minecraft go from being the indie game that many of us fell in love with to becoming one of the biggest franchises in the video game industry. But have you ever wondered what would have happened if that transaction hadn't taken place? Let's start by saying that everything that happens in this video is hypothetical. Neither I, nor you, nor anyone else can know what would have happened if an action had been carried out differently. But it's very likely that most of the things I'm going to tell you would have happened, so get ready for this alternate story. This new branch in the history of Minecraft that never existed. I suppose you'll remember. Who is Notch, the creator of Minecraft and the person who signed its sale to Microsoft? It's always been said that with the money, Notch has been able to live without worries. He has a dream life away from the spotlight and without any worries. He simply sold the company, took most of the money, and has enough to make his grandchildren rich. They have nothing to worry about. In fact, I don't know if it's true or not, but it was often said that in this house he bought for $70 million or something like that. In Los Angeles, it's said that he used to throw incredible parties, but, well, I haven't been to any of them, so I can't tell you for sure. But still, why would you buy a mansion in Los Angeles if you're from Sweden? I guess for the parties. I don't know what I would do if I closed a deal for $2.5 billion. $2.5 billion is a big number, but $1 million is too. So consider subscribing. We're really close to reaching $1 million. Let's see if I can hit 900,000 by year end. What a great Christmas gift that would be. If Microsoft hadn't bought Mojang, many might think Notch would have remained as Mojang's director, but he probably wouldn't have. At the time, people said Notch was very stressed and overwhelmed by the responsibility. They questioned why he wanted such a large company. Since Minecraft began as an indie game, its popularity was so great that it eventually became a video game company. Just like that. Think about it. Notch programmed Minecraft at first as a small project, and look at what it ended up becoming in just a few years. Well, I think neither you nor I can imagine everything that comes with that, everything it involves. And all the companies that contact you, all the employees you have to manage. I understand the stress it caused him. He just wanted to make a video game but got involved in much more. All of this made him sell to Microsoft. But if that hadn't happened, don't worry, because he could have sold it to another company. And we've only known this for a short time. That company is Activision. In a very recent interview just a few months ago, former Chief Executive Officer Bobby Kotick talked about it on Ari Emanuel's podcast. That in 2014, his company offered $1.5 billion to buy Minecraft, but Notch rejected it even before he got Microsoft's offer. He said they couldn't handle a big company. I'm not sure if that's true, the real reason, or if he just didn't like Activision, but still. The thing is, in the interview, this man said he spent a week in Sweden negotiating it, and in the end, they didn't reach an agreement. Could we say that Notch only wanted to sell it to Microsoft? I don't think so. He probably valued his company more, and the offer he got seemed insufficient. But of course, $2,500 is almost double. It's crazy. In fact, it's hard for us to even imagine what that could be. Well, I checked, I did the math, and honestly, it came out perfectly. Dollars aren't the same as euros, and 2014 isn't the same as almost 2026. But nowadays, the entire roster of Football Club Barcelona and Real Madrid combined. Just like that. If you sign all the players from both teams and leave them with no players, it costs 2.5 billion euros. I mean, that's the purchase. Football is extremely inflated. I'm not sure how much Mojang and Minecraft would sell for now, but definitely much more than that. But anyway, as we said before, most likely Notch, if this purchase hadn't happened, would have ended up giving up the chief executive officer position to someone else. If he hadn't sold it, he would have stepped down, because it was already being said that he wanted to step away from it. Most likely, Jens Bergensten, who many of you know as Yep, would have ended up as the chief executive officer of the company. He is now the creative director and was previously the lead programmer and Notch's right-hand man. So if he had left the company, most likely Jens would have taken over, although they could have also hired an external chief executive officer. I doubt a small indie game company would trust someone from outside for a project like this. Well, as for Notch, I guess he wouldn't have thrown parties in a house like that, maybe in a slightly more modest one. And I say slightly because I'd love to have a house like that myself. He wouldn't have lacked money at all. We already know he was wealthy before selling it. Most likely his life would have stayed the same, out of the spotlight. I don't know what would have happened with his controversies, but we'll save that for another video. Microsoft's purchase made Minecraft much more popular, but with popularity come orders. Microsoft wanted to implement its own version of Minecraft, but instead of being programmed in Java, it was programmed in C++, a programming language more reliable than Java. We all know this version very well. But at the time, it was known as Minecraft Windows 10 Edition, which would later be called Minecraft. Bedrock, which I suppose many of you know because 70% of Minecraft players are from Minecraft. Bedrock, so most likely you play on Bedrock, even though all the YouTubers play on Java. Well, if Microsoft hadn't bought Minecraft, Bedrock probably would have never existed. This leads to many outcomes, so let's go step by step. To begin with, crossplay in Minecraft would be something that wouldn't exist. As you already know, crossplay is when you can play the same game from different consoles or computers on the same server. So from your computer, you can play with your friends on PlayStation 5. Maintaining different graphic engines and massive servers. Doing this costs a fortune, and not only that, it requires technology that only giants like Microsoft have combined. Because of this, we would never have had other video games in the same universe as Minecraft, like Minecraft Legends, Minecraft Dungeons, or the unfortunate Minecraft Air. For those of you who don't know it, it's a kind of Pokemon Go where you build in real life. And yes, I say unfortunate because it was released right around the time the coronavirus pandemic hit, so its servers were shut down due to lack of activity. Of course, no Minecraft. Minecraft education probably wouldn't exist, and many kids wouldn't know about Minecraft from having learned it in class or from having done a project like that. It would have been much smaller. This probably wouldn't have had the reach it has today. Although I know many Minecraft players are unaware of Minecraft education projects, they're actually quite big. In short, if Minecraft hadn't been bought by Microsoft, Mojang's preferred version would be Minecraft Hub. Meanwhile, Minecraft on consoles, which already existed in 2014 in case you didn't know, would remain. It would seem like a multi-platform version of the original PC game, but without crossplay or anything like that, just adapting the PC gameplay to consoles. And Bedrock, as I mentioned before, would never have existed for a simple reason. There was no need for it. And what does this mean? Because just as I said, it sounds kind of catastrophic, and well, in a way it actually is. Many of you don't know about the current importance of Minecraft Bedrock. Just so you get an idea, there are old records of the purchase of the different versions of Minecraft and Bedrock. It has 80% of the players compared to Java, which is huge. To put it simply, 80% of Minecraft players would have never played it. But realistically, out of that 20% who buy Minecraft Java, many of them got to know it. Because of the updates from Microsoft, maybe 15% of its players wouldn't know it either. So only about 5% of players would know Minecraft. If it hadn't been bought by Microsoft, this would have kept Mojang as an indie company. Well, who knows? The numbers are terrifying. Being more optimistic, if it hadn't been 5% at most, maybe 25% or 30% of players being super optimistic. Well, of course, those are numbers that are way too big for an indie game. And honestly, the impact has been one of its greatest allies. For Minecraft, before 2014, the game was already very, very well known. After Microsoft bought it, their heavy campaign investment made it impossible not to hear about Minecraft. There was all kinds of merchandise, from boxes to put your head in to swords or pickaxes, even functional torches. There's even a collaboration where Steve is playable and has long been one of the game's most overpowered characters. But of course, none of this would exist without Microsoft, the multinational company that decided to bet on Minecraft and recover all the money it spent buying it. Consider this. There wouldn't be as much merchandising or so many collaborations. Sure, it was already popular, but now, who doesn't know about it? I still haven't talked to a single person who's told me, oh, I don't know what that game is. Everyone knows, at least from hearing someone mention it, what it is. I'm not saying that if Microsoft hadn't bought it, nobody would know about it. Probably about 70–80% of the people who know it now would still know it. But let's say that everything they've invested in marketing and merchandising, etc., has given it a boost. Another thing that probably wouldn't exist is the Minecraft movie, the collaborative figures. The plush toy your cousin has would be gone. it wouldn't exist. Many factors make Minecraft so big, but what if you remove those? Another great thing that happened thanks to the purchase was the Minecraft marketplace. Believe it or not, the Bedrock marketplace moves a lot of money not just for Minecraft, but also for the creators. This marketplace is full of creators who make a living designing maps, skins, or texture packs. If these people couldn't create for the marketplace, they might be unemployed or stuck in less enjoyable jobs without the freedom that developing a map or skin offers. But well, we already know that the marketplace isn't the ideal place either. But it's one of those things that when a company that big buys you, you have to go along with it. They have to make the investment profitable and make the game profitable. So honestly, they've done very little for being Microsoft, but in the end, it's such an easy game to monetize that just having a simple marketplace is enough. They probably already have everything they need covered, but of course that's something that wouldn't have happened with the original Mojang, because that kind of thing wasn't in line with their approach. Many of you may not remember, but in the past, especially influenced by the United States, piracy was widely discussed. It was strongly frowned upon, but Minecraft, and especially Notch, was revolutionary. He told people to pirate Minecraft if they wanted to try it, but didn't want to pay the 20 euros. And that was the key for me. It was the key to why Minecraft became so successful, at least for me personally. This channel probably wouldn't exist if Notch hadn't said that, or if he had put obstacles in the way of piracy. Because when I discovered the game, I was 14 or 15 years old, and I didn't have a credit card. I couldn't buy an online game, so I played it for free, and I liked it so much that I begged my parents to buy it, use my own money, and they paid with their card. This probably happened to thousands of players, but really what else could I do? I wouldn't have been able to play the game otherwise. Or maybe I would have asked for it for Christmas, but by then I might have forgotten and moved on to something else. I don't know. If Notch hadn't had that vision from the start, many of us might not be here, and you might not be watching this video. Another thing that would have happened without Microsoft's purchase is that the updates wouldn't have been so ambitious or so big. I'm not saying they're crazy now, but you get me, right? Wouldn't they have been smaller? And this probably would have led to mods being even more important than they are now. There are people who only play Minecraft with mods. I myself use performance improvement mods, even in vanilla, but this would have played an even bigger role. Maybe the Nether update would have never happened and we would have a much more popular mod for the new Nether. But it's also true this could happen with the end, because it's a pretty useless dimension and it doesn't happen. There's no mod that popular, so, well, the typical mods like Better Leaves or Better Grass probably would have been more popular. As I mentioned, I'm talking about just 10% more since the modding community is already significant. I recently discovered this with the Create Mods series on the channel and was surprised by how much people liked it. In fact, when I was about to upload it, I thought this is a series about a mod on a Minecraft channel. Vanilla is going to do really badly. And there you have it, it's my most viewed series with a lot of views. It's very likely that the Warden wouldn't exist now, or at least not as we know it. And why? Well, this is because of a butterfly effect, obviously. You remember the Ether mod, right? Well, the creator was KINGB2, and this person was hired by Mojang in 2019. They probably wouldn't have hired him. And then the Warden would be different, since he led the design and development of the ancient cities and the Warden, so things would be very different now. And who knows, maybe he would have kept updating the Ether mod or made other different mods. We've already mentioned that there might not have been as many updates, or at least not at the current pace. Ultimately, when a company has a higher authority, they're expected to deliver content constantly. We also know Mojang isn't known for frequent updates. This isn't Fortnite, but maybe Microsoft was nudging them occasionally, asking, "When will you release something this year? Let's meet and discuss future projects." If they hadn't been pushed so much, maybe we wouldn't have seen so many updates, or at least they would have been smaller, and not with such a sales-oriented vision like I mentioned. The Nether update and the Cave update have a more corporate vision, so the updates probably would have been smaller and less frequent. Obviously, we'll never know if it would have turned out that way. What is clear, generally speaking, is that if Minecraft hadn't been bought by Microsoft or another big company, we would have a purer game, but probably a poorer one. Something less commercial, but not necessarily worse. Tell me in the comments, what do you think? Don't forget to subscribe. I want to reach 1 million. Goodbye.